Makes sense because all top teams will have, strats that they use online or in a lot of matches in a row. Low profile matches, maybe. Not take it as hard. And Fnatic's known for, losing maps these last couple of days, just kind of dropping balls. So let's see if they have something different.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We're about to kick things off here. G2 versus Fnatic on map 2. And of course, Fnatic, they were not able to find success, even remotely close to success in the first map. So here is their chance at redemption to force it to a third map and prevent G2 from taking the series. And it starts with this pistol. And we see Fnatic off on the T side. The early aggression from G2 in towards the showers here is causing some problems for Fnatic, but it is an even trade.
Oh, look at this smoke too. This is denying so much space so early on, and it seems like this is such a hard read to even have that smoke on that player at ladder is so interesting, but it doesn't seem to matter. Kenny S with 2 quick USB headshots leaves JW in a 1v4. He finds the first on a hunter, but he has a lot of ground to make up. He'll make his way back into the back lane of the outer yard, and he's trying to thin their numbers still. At the front of the bomb train, he will be challenged by Nexa, but neither player connects with one another. Now JW still scaling on forward at this old bomb, but he's not liking his prospects there and will decide to push forward from Ivy now. Long-range duel, and he actually takes down Ominic there. Brings it down to 2, and he spots Nexa once again. He's not aware just quite of where Kenny S.'s position is on top of that, and it looks like G2 are going to be playing in a nice setup off of each other. They split up momentarily, and this may give JW a window here as he spams towards heaven, looking for something. There's only 15 seconds left in the round, so he has to find these kills immediately. May not have time if he retrieves the bomb, and Kenny S, with the 3-piece on the round, will give G2 that 1-0 advantage.
Now, I would like... I know that came down to a 1-on-3 situation for JW, but when JW was out in the Ivy and almost by their old outside bomb train, I think he should have communicated with his teammates to stay alive a little bit longer, even though Kenny has hit some nice shots, because it didn't allow JW to work off his position. He had a good outside, he was pretty much in CT spawn, and then 2 people from Fnatic pretty much died right away, so it didn't really hand him a chance to work his amazing position in that scenario.
And well, it's a flashbang and a dream here. The goal is to get a quick plant here and try to basically bank on the fact that the CTs often play or are encouraged to play further back because they don't want to get pistol rushed, and so they'll let you take the plant in a lot of cases, but obviously these days, a lot of CT teams don't understand that. They're like, if they see Glocks here, they want to try to press hard to prevent the plant from going down, and that's what we're going to see happen here in this particular case, although the bomb will still get planted. So, and even a frag on top of that, that's actually a huge bonus to get a plant or a frag ultimately, because they look like G2 were kind of in the know there, looking to try to stop that plant from going down.
Yeah, that's a big win for Fnatic there, and it makes me think of just how people for a while were theory crafting on maps like Vertigo, or if you see a Molotov on a full eco, should you just jump off the map, or should you just stand in a Molotov to die? And just either of the options, finding a plant or getting a single kill, negates all of that immediately, and it just keeps the pressure on as well. So morally speaking, along with economically speaking, it's generally, I think people have kind of thrown that case away, though. I think that was a short debate.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to see G2 taking full control of the A yard, although Flusher, I think, just got to kill just through the smoke there. That's annoying for G2. G2 doing some of that aggression we were talking about. Makes a lot of sense. There's an upgrade and a bomb as well. Amanek has found the treasure. He's going to guard it. He's going to get quite a deep position here. They surely must realize that that's possible, though, given where the frag just happened.
Oh, but now Kenny's here as well.
They don't seem to be reacting too much. They're just Fnatic are just holding their ground at the moment. They're just pushing, which is actually kind of cool because they can kind of maybe isolate, catch out the players that aren't on the bomb, and then maybe circle back to those players who are guarding the bomb. Very strange, but we'll see if it works.
Yeah, Crims is still just playing the round as if they have full
Nothing's
control of it. This is really weird.
Guys, inside is open. Coming inside. Guys, come.
Yeah, and with 35 seconds left, I don't know if Fnatic will even have the time to do this. They really just have to take out all these G2 players in quick succession here. Golden will smoke off ladder, but where is the backup? Where will he find that help from? And this is looking like it's coming to bite Fnatic. The Spawn is still well out of their control. Kenny's has set up shop here in T-Con. An interesting position for a CT opper, but
Crimps is still inside. Guys,
still,
inside's open.
I have B. Oh, okay, all right. So, yeah, Dan, I thought you were seeing into the future that, wow, this is actually really smart from Fnatic, and now JW dies after the time. That was not. All right.
Yeah, seemed like that. It seemed like there was just like a malfunction, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's just like, just I don't know what, but
that's what you get on ESCA refrag. Just they continue, the bots just continue to run the default out, despite what happens across the map. Yeah.
Wow. Well, 3-0 to G2. It's a great start for them. We don't have too much to say for Fnatic right now in this round. They've got a smoke, a flash, and HE, and the AK that was saved. So yeah, they're really not the best of starts, that's for sure. It just sucks to kind of lose a round like that. You have a plan for the rounds, and just a very small, well, I guess kind of a huge mistake actually. But I should say, like, one instance, like one engagement, can translate into effectively a round win for the CT side. That just doesn't feel good for sure. And Fnatic have a lot to try to do in this game. Again, like, this is such a good map for G2. It just, I mean, the fact that you have Kenny on the team, obviously he's such an affinity as an AWPer for a map such as this, and always has. And ultimately, G2 have been quite impressive.
It's weird. It's like
on this map,
you think of G2 and they have 6 really strong maps out of all the map pool. I mean, it seems like they just ban overpass in every single other map. They're really good on it. They're really, really good.
Alright, well, Crimps is able to find 1 kill. There's a swing from Hunter, and that's good for 2. Still 3 players left alive for Fnatic, looking for that bomb plant, which they will get. So a couple kills in a bomb plant in a save round. That's pretty good. Looks like another kill is to be had by JW too. He's picked up a rifle as well. Maybe a chance for another kill. JW can't stop the defuse, but maybe he can extract another kill.
Oh.
Yeah, beautiful burst with the remaining bullets in the gun. That's an amazing. Honestly, that's a great outcome for the round for Fnatic.
Yeah, full save, bomb plant. About 4 kills.
Yeah, if you look at just the kill feed or how that round broke down, you'd think that was probably the best opportunity Fnatic had to even win a round.
Yeah. I would like to see Fnatic call a timeout. I don't know. I'm just a big sucker for timeouts. You know, in a very important round, you're down 4-0. But, you know, they're professional on that.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
That's really nice.
Oh, they seems fair.
Hunter has been it was kind of into question a little bit by fans just when G2 picked up Nexa and Hunter.
Like what?
Yeah, like it was Nexa made sense because it was the IGL, but then it was kind of I think for a lot of people it was a toss up between Esperanto and Hunter, but Hunter has really made the case clear for himself that this was not a mistake by the G2 organization.
Yeah. Very impressive.
Excellent pickup. He's the highest rated player now for G2, which is surprising when Kenny S is on your team.
Yeah.
And I think as good as Esperanto is, I think that there is a lot of people are drawn to mechanical output, and that doesn't really speak for a huge amount of other things that also contribute to the team and also to the individuals, ways to make plays and play clutches and everything else. So, Brolan will try to do some additional damage at least. That's a nice kill. If he can get at least 1 or 2 more, that would be really excellent for Fnatic to keep the money honest of G2, but it won't be the case on this occasion. 5-0, and the start for G2 is looking even stronger this map so far than Nuke did.
Yeah. What do you guys think of the top 3 KennyS maps?
What are they?
Yeah,
Or-
yeah. What do you guys? What are, if you think KennyS
Okay.
and maps? What jumps out at you?
I think Nuke and Inferno definitely both jump out. I think it's fair to say.
And Dust too.
I think Cobble.
Cobble.
Yeah.
All the alt maps, you mean? And all the
Yeah,
alt maps
yeah.
he's really
I
good
mean-
at? Makes sense.
I actually don't. I don't put him as a trained specialist. I mean, he's clearly good at it.
Yeah.
Of course, he's good at every map. But when I think of historical KennyS pop-off performances,
Yeah.
I think of more. I guess the older map will
I think
too.
people ban this map a lot against him. That's probably why we haven't seen too
Mm.
many over the years. Because, you know, he's always been a super strong opper. This map is kind of uncomfortable for some teams. And this map, it's up. That's how it is. So they just avoid it, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it feels like any map that, you know, has long range angles or something like that, he does good. Like, really good. Except for Inferno, which he does well, but that's not really an friendly map.
Yeah,
as
that's
the other
why
ones.
it's
It's
so
impressive.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Kenny, that it's so iconic for him. Okay, well, we can continue this discussion in a moment. We've got Fnatic on that 4-buy. JW's on the AWP. Maybe he can put up a fight here, but we get an aggression. Look at this info play. The timing around 1 minute, looking for the info by going for the attack into team main. That's beautiful. That's what you want to do. You need to have those info plays at a very specific time in the rounds, and it's going to work out really nicely. They pick up a kill. They deduce more as to what's happening here. Jack's aware now that there's a lurk on the Ivy position. Now he's aware that there's no more lurk on the Ivy position. And Fnatic, with a desperation maneuver through into B, but oh, that's gross. Oh, that's so hard to watch if you're a Fnatic fan, I'm sure.
G2 are looking so polished here.
They are.
The double walk into T-Con there, catching Brolin off. Yeah, the thing is, you're seeing all of these opening picks are actually team-oriented. It felt like a dry walk into T-Con, but there was a player right behind Ominek too. So if he doesn't find that kill on a Brolin, probably the player behind him is able to trade it out at the very least. And then Jack's there at Ivy, not just, you know, peeking Golden, but there was a flash to set that whole thing up. Every single info play they make has some kind of fallback on it, or at least some reason that it should work.
And there's also an argument to not always throw a flashbang, which sounds a bit mad, and especially I think coming from me, because I think I always like to harp on the fundamentals. But when you're playing at a really elite level, you have to do certain things that will trick your opponent. And what I've seen actually Astralis, I think, do more than anybody else is actually fake info plays with flashbangs, which means that they don't take a risk, but they suggest that they're taking an area when they're not, which forces a rotation that they are then able to exploit. So this is like really next level mind games, and this is the kind of stuff that if you're a tier 1 team, you start adding those layers in. But for the anyone outside of the top 8, stick to the fundamentals.
Yeah, I see a lot of newer players throw just the random flashbang, and I'll ask them when I do coaching, what do you think that was supposed to accomplish? And they just aren't really sure of it. But when Astralis does it, it's because teams at the pro level think that every flash they throw is such a conscious decision for them that they, like you mentioned, that it's faking that they just maybe retook the top of banana, for instance.
Yeah.
So you have to have the kind of the balance of, you know, you got to mask some things with your nades, but you also got to follow up. So it's like sometimes I toss an FB over here for like the first couple rounds, you know, just kind of see what they do. Then maybe the third time I do it, I have teammates right behind it to kind of change it up. That, you know, maybe have 2 people right behind the FB this time around. So like as you said, a lot of those mind games.
Yeah, looks like there was a quick technical issue, but it has since been resolved, and now we'll be getting back into the action here. Seems to be a half buy of sorts from Fnatic with a hero AK on JW.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because we saw last round with a nice peek from G2, but if Fnatic can get these early picks and not get picked off, I think it would be helpful.
Well, Kenny's down, so that's a huge win, but Amanek's going to trade it right back, and Hunter's unable to get the kills he wants, but Jax is in position from Sandwich, doing really excellent work. Oh my god, Jax is just annihilating everybody!
Oh.
Jax! It hardly seems fair what G2 are doing to Fnatic at present. It hardly seems fair.
They're on fire right now.
You take down Kenny S, you think, all right, maybe we have a chance. You take down Hunter as well, you think, all right, that's their other star player. Then Jax is here at Sandwich, and he follows up beautifully.
That's just glorious. It's so glorious. Against Fnatic too, like these guys aren't scrubs.
No.
These guys individually are very good. But there you go, G2, and they're in the zone. Broline will make his way aggressively towards Sandwich, just wrapping back around, snaking through the smokes. It's just not going to work out, is it?
G2 just picking Fnatic apart. They knew what was coming with those nades, and it's a perfect response. Just everyone's crosshair in the right position right now for G2. And Golden left in a 1v5 here at TCon. It just feels like Fnatic's playbook. Ooh, okay, well, hold that for just a moment there. Golden, he gets one, looking for more. Won't be able to find it, but Fnatic in the last few days, we've been seeing a lot of quick outside pressure from them, around E-Box especially, and Kenny S is just holding for that angle.
Yeah, J2 are ready for that.
Yeah, they know it's coming. And whereas other teams have struggled against Fnatic, when that solo player makes that positional play, it's as simple as Kenny S just holding the angle.
Yeah, I mean when Fnatic was playing the other teams on this map, I didn't really notice Alpers being where Kenny S was, even though it seems like that's a common op spot.
Right.
Fnatic really never been punished by an Alper by Bomb Train or Z. I'm wondering if it's just that they were hitting their shots earlier, or maybe teams just, never just had the op there, because usually the op was more maybe by Ivy side or inside sometimes. I don't know. It's different with G2.
Well, we've got to start to wonder, like, how many rounds do Fnatic actually need to win this game? And with how G2 are playing it, it feels like they need a competitive T side.
They need 7. They need all the rounds.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, 5 is like, I think, the happy minimum. To have a buffer to allow for the quality of G2. They are going to win some rounds.
Yeah, I think 4 is going to need, if they achieve 4 rounds in this half, it will have to be a heroic CT side, one that Fnatic is capable of, but one that I actually would never really see them doing in a group stage game.
Yeah, right, yeah. And probably not on train. That said, Counter-Strike is... One of the best things about Counter-Strike is that sometimes, inexplicably, everything can just turn on its head without really any notice. So we'll see if that will be the case or not for Fnatic. Broline at least trying to do some damage, get some work done, get some kills on the board, but it's short-lived ultimately, and 9-0 will be the score now for G2. They're looking for that clean 15-0 right now. I feel like the way that things have been going, have we seen a competitive gun round? I don't think we have we?
It doesn't seem like it.
I think there's been a single one.
The best one was the JW. It was the half buy when JW was on the flank and he found, I think, 2 kills, and it came down to technically a 1v1, but after the defuse came out.
But no gun rounds.
Right.
Yeah. Well, so what else Fnatic are going to throw at G2? Opting to go for a slower default this time around. That said, they don't have any presence in the inner halls, so that could be problematic, as G2 do have a player up there, and I believe that's Kenny S with the AWP. So Kenny's going to understand that there's no one towards inner at all. So that does give G2 a lot of information. It's you do want to try to remove the AWP from this position, and Kenny's even going more aggressive. How bold will Kenny get? We know that he can pull out the shotgun AWP when he wants to. but he's going to temper himself for now. And instead it's Nexa, who actually, no, maybe he won't temper himself. Maybe he's waiting for Nexa to come and help him.
Yeah, G2 is looking relentless with their pressure here. However, JW has achieved this old ball position, but Jax is completely aware of that. Takes him down. 3 players remain, and this is a must-win round for Fnatic if they want to get back into this game. Golden, though, at back green, does get flashed off. That's a nice supporting flash, and a double peek comes out. Oh, man, that's clinical from G2 right there.
It's actually kind of wild in how bad they're making Fnatic look. Like, it's actually unreal how good G2 looks.
Yeah.
They look way too good.
They look like world beaters right now, that's for sure.
Yeah, just G2 is, they're not cutting any corners on any of these rounds either. Every play is supported by a teammate. Even at the end there, in a 5v2, they coordinate the double swing after flashing him off. Wow. I mean, that's just super impressive. Yeah.
It's nice. It's
hard to have that kind of discipline online, especially when a lot of the players are tenured. But I think that goes back to what you said, Dan, earlier, that a lot of the players on G2, they're hungry. They're not major winners for the most part. This is a team of mostly younger players who've kind of been bouncing around the scene for a while, and you can see that they've carried that hunger over that they showed at the beginning of this year into the last few months.
Yeah, it's just so, as a someone that is a CS fan, it's just great to see teams that have that kind of energy and are finding success with it. It's pretty kill from Crims. Brawlline with a double, and all of a sudden we're off to the races. Fnatic looking like they will be able to get themselves on the board if they can convert here. It's looking pretty damn good. It's just Kenny against 4. I don't ever want to. I should perhaps never prefix Kenny with the word just, but we'll see on this occasion if he can do something from this position. This is notoriously, I would say, perhaps the hardest bomb site to retake once the T's are set up in the entire game. The A site, there's so many nooks and crannies, and the way that the trains are, these kind of long shapes, it makes it incredibly hard to chase people down as well. Oh, yes, that's what you need. Get a knife in there.
Down 10-0. Still do it.
Yeah. Okay, they're on the board. Welcome.
Welcome to the game.
The question is, will Fnatic be able to replicate that fast momentum play? G2 seemingly weren't quite ready for it. I'm sure G2 will dump a little bit more utility into some of those choke points at the beginning of this round to try to stop anything similar from happening.
Oh, fast smokes outside for Fnatic. Looking to try to take some control of ladder room as well now. Got Golden in position towards Sandwich. Got the Sandwich smoke there as well. So right now G2 are feeling very constricted. Look at the way the smokes have fallen. It's actually a beautiful smoke set piece that's constricting the bomb site enormously. Straight through the smoke. Brawlan is going to execute the defense. Amanek, though, is lurking in the corner and does manage to find his way onto a trade. But he doesn't really have any support right now. He's actually backing away or trying to find his way to the back lines. But the reposition will be the end of him. There is a world where Nexa can find this kill if he's able, or rather find this clutch, if he is able to get the jump on one of these 3 players.
Looks like JW's already posted up on the angle. In fact, JW will keep on pressing forward with intent here. And Nexa actually finds that kill there. Looking for more, but Crims is quick to take him down. So the answer to the question, can Fnatic replicate that, is a resounding yes.
But the question does remain still, how many of the remaining rounds can Fnatic get? I said, for me, I feel like a happy minimum is 5. Probably isn't enough still, but that is possible. That round was, I think, the question of how replicable success is as you mentioned, so important. And there is a lot of questioning around that for Fnatic's success, as it hasn't come necessarily from defaults or anything. I guess that last round was maybe in one sense, the thing that seems the most replicable, but it was off of a set smokes. And the thing about that is that if the only thing that up until this point that has worked for Fnatic is set smokes like that, and G2 got punished because they were waiting behind those smokes, there's definitely adaptations that they can have for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's something that some of the teams we've watched against Fnatic have had a hard time with, but I assume after that pause, G2 likely talked it over and is trying to figure out what their actual counter would be if they do see those once again. This time around, though, Fnatic won't be playing as aggressively around those smokes. We can see that Golden, who was around Hell last time, is actually just going to be moving on top of the top blue train now. He scales on forward, almost found a timing right there, but Amanek and Nexa find stereo frags, are able to find a couple, but it's actually a B hit coming out from Fnatic. Kennyus is still in good position to take down JW there. 3v2 now, and Crims pressing on forward actually finds Amanek there. Now sitting around the oil train, will try to hold his ground here. This is so important for Fnatic to win, but Jax, he has no interest in giving Fnatic this one. It's just Flusha that remains. He has a Molotov, so he can throw that onto the bomb. And there's actually no smoke, and that kill will really enable him to play off of the timing here. Hunter has to press on forward, and he looks to just stick this bomb right now. Flusha knows that's the only option for him, and will take him down with the Glock and Molly combo.
Oh, that was a great little adjustment and post-plant by Fnatic, especially by Flusha. A little bit of Crims. Textbook. Yeah, but it looks like Fnatic's starting to find their stride, finding the pockets. I mean, it looks like Golden's having an off day, because I mean he's not just hitting the shots, just as you saw from that last round. It's unfortunate.
Fast outside play. Flusha off of the assist from Golden there. Is able to find two big openings. And Fnatic, they are positioning themselves in such a way to perhaps find that magical 5-round minimum that Dan was talking about earlier. It definitely looks like they'll be achieving a 4th here. It's really just a matter at this point in the round, how much can G2 take away from Fnatic into the next round. It's not all too important for the financial stability of Fnatic. They'll have a bye into the next round regardless of the losses here. But can they perhaps take an AK into the next round? And Fnatic have, they may have found a little bit of an answer here. Those smokes that G2 have to respect towards outside, coming a little late into the half, but now Fnatic have thrown them, I think, 4 rounds consecutively. I'm not sure if it was the exact same in this anti-eco, but it was a pretty similar look regardless.
Yeah, I'm wondering how Fnatic warms up, because it feels like now, as we're watching them, this is the Fnatic we know. You know, the timers, everything, they're hitting shots, stuff like that. But it took a map and a half for them to get to the point that we know them as. So I'm wondering if it's just a bad warm-up. Maybe G2 was playing out of their minds. Well, I mean, that kind of a little bit too, but it took Fnatic so long to get to this point. It's like the series is almost over, but now you're starting to come alive.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to come back against G2 though, for sure. They've got a great. They're just looking great on every single front. And one of the other conditions for Fnatic ultimately is that they do need to, upon getting the 5 rounds, hopefully for them and their sake, if they win that pistol, that's kind of a necessity too. You talk about winning the pistol, converting the following couple rounds. Now they're at an 8-10 scoreline, so that's where things really start to close down. But either way, G2 can prevent that 5th round from going to Fnatic. So, the aggression, the inner aggression's coming through again. The swing from Nexa is unrelenting. So fearless. And that's pretty devastating to lose one of your players that early. What is the call now? It's like they'll still go for those outside smokes.
Yeah, it looks like Golden wanted to shift up the pacing here. by running a slower default maybe into those smokes. But now that they have lost complete control of Boxall, their hand has really been forced here at TCon. Kenny's missing a bit of a timing there as he doesn't see the player go across, but he spots the elbow, and that's all he needs. Great kill onto JW, continuing to thin the numbers. Brolin, though, trying to scale and make up some ground, will be taken down by Kenny as well. Good positions left for G2 and Fnatic. They are running their head up against a wall as Kenny is finally able to take down Flusha. And in a very strong showing there, G2 attain an 11-4 scoreline. We'll find out if Fnatic are able to bounce back after a break.
We're back!
There we go.
Alrighty, so 11-4 at the end of the first half. As you can see, your eyes do not deceive you. G2 are in excellent shape and Fnatic are struggling. They're on the struggle bus, but they're looking to take control of the wheel and avoid the edge of the cliff. Golden able to take down one as the B attack commences. Jack's all the way so very deep towards the connector there, and it's Flusha on the high ground that's looking to try to slow things down, but he's in a spot of bother. He does have some assistance coming his way, but he's getting attacked from all angles. Unrelenting attack onto Flusha there. Only can result one way. And Fnatic are looking to swing things back into their favor here. Very well done, and that's precisely what they needed to accomplish. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be real tough to bring this back. Oh man, I'm not feeling good about their comeback, if I'm completely honest. I feel like it's going to be a huge struggle for them, given what we saw. So we need to see stuff that we didn't see, which we kind of talked about in the pre-show, what we wanted to see from them.
Yeah, you just can't give G2 too much control early on in these rounds. Fnatic have, in the last few days, shown us a passivity that will not work against G2. G2 has too deep of a playbook that if you give them space, they know exactly how to utilize that space to the fullest effect. JW will be challenged here as he has a scout around Ivy now. And actually, quick scaling from the G2 side. Jax is able to pick up a single kill. That's already great for a 5 Glock round here. And that cannot continue here. Quite literally, because every other player has head armor now. So you just can't find those kills. So it looks like they may be able to find a bomb plant, though. It's being played retake here from Flusha, so if these players just scale out well together, and unless Flusha just completely snipes them, should result in a bomb being planted. The molly actually hits right on the mark, so they can't find the plant. Oh, good stuff from Flusha there.
Awesome, yeah.
It's really good to deny that, as that retake style usually means you're willing to concede that bomb plant, but that's just perfect utility from Flusha. I would expect nothing less.
Yeah, we talked about that last time. It's just, it also plays against the fact that the CTs don't want to play close positions against the pistols, because that's where the pistols will be stronger and you're more likely will die. So you want to protect your own economy as opposed to trying to deny their economy and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's like best case. And that's the start you want to see Fnatic get to make the comeback a reality. And let's see what G2 are up to. It looks like a default to begin with. We have G2 working on that inner control, and they're also working... They don't have anyone really pressuring Ivy at this point. They do have someone looking for the push, though. Amanek is there by the dumpster, looking to see if the CTs try to make a play. But they have just got a deep smoke in that position. So Fnatic are not making any plays in particular, really. They've got a two-man setup around ladder, and a close two-man setup in the B-bomb side as well. And one of the reasons why G2 would play slow in a round like this is because you do actually anticipate when the other team has the SMGs and you have the AKs, that they're going to try to get aggressive. And here is one of the first aggressions. And this is the kind of stuff we wanted to see from Fnatic.
Yeah, exactly. Slotting Crims into TCon already. He has this MP9, which is so devastating at close range. G2 have to exercise some kind of retake procedure here. It looks like it'll just be a dry swing and a trade, which is great, as it now has thinned the numbers out from Fnatic to just 3. Brolin is still holding a very advanced position here at Sandwich, and it will allow Fnatic to ascertain quite a bit of information regarding the whereabouts of G2. They haven't pressed on forward towards that outer bomb site. Golden now has to be ready for some kind of hit here, but oh, he is not going to expect this. a full scaling at Sidewalk here, and they are quick to flank him. He's able to achieve a single frag there, but it's just JW and Brolin that remain. Hunter also has now achieved such great positioning, and JW and Brolin, they really have to connect here, but Hunter will be the first to find a frag, instantly putting a bullet in the face of JW. Just Brolin remaining, and G2 make quick work of him as well.
So I know we talked about what Fnatic needed to do in order to help their CT start off. So they started off good. You know, they took over ladder, they heard some footsteps, and then they retook middle and had really good positioning. But what G2 did was even better. They slow peaked and took team mid with numbers, and after that, they fell back to inside. Why? Because if you have a person pushed up in T-Con, most likely outside might over-rotate to inside because you have a really strong choke point that denies information for the other team. So, okay, if they're not middle, then most likely they could be going inside or even Ivy at that point. So it's really good that G2 just walked back and took inside, and Fnatic had to respect that because that T-Con person died, put them in a little pickle outside. Pretty good protocols by G2.
Yeah, that's a good way to break it down. G2 just very thorough with their approach. Really expect nothing less at this point with what we've seen so far. The first half of this map and everything we saw in map 1 on Nuke. It seems like they're just so well prepared on all 6 of their maps.
Yeah, it's like you guys are sort of alluding to earlier. I think you were saying it, Eric. G2 are very well rounded right now in their map pool, which is not easy to achieve. Looking to play this anti-eco, going for the outside approach. It's not always easy. There's lots of, as mentioned previously, nooks and crannies, and the pistols are able to find ways to kind of reset certain peaks pretty effectively. But looking like it's going really well right now for G2. And they've fallen quickly into more post-plant positions after they got that bomb down, even though they were TT sort of creeping around. And they make that look incredibly successful. They made that look a lot less dangerous than, honestly, those rounds actually are.
But here's kind of like the weird part. Sometimes Fnatic is not in a bad spot to get these kills. It's just they're not getting those kind of kills. Like how many times have we seen where Fnatic's holding an off angle and they shoot at a G2 not looking at them and not get the kill? I think it happened at least 5 times in the series alone. It's just an absurd amount of times where shots aren't hitting for them in easy spots.
That is quite the opposite of that. Kenny S with a very hard shot.
Oh my goodness.
Man! Oh, I can't believe Hunter's able to continue that spray for that long. I have to give most of the credit there to Hunter, but I think, as you say, it's a little surprising to me sometimes the kills that Fnatic aren't getting on top of that here. And G2 quick to play off of their 3-man advantage so early in the round. They are looking to just set up for a contact play towards this B inner sight. Flusha is still going to hold on to the cloud position. He may be able to deny the plant, but peeking from upper at the most opportune of times is Amanek. And now Hunter continues to lurk on towards outside, and JW, who took a scout into a gun round, may be able to take an AK into a save round. Or perhaps. Oh. Well, Nexa will find him, take him down. G2 don't want to allow any type of win condition for Fnatic as they move forward and attempt to close this series out.
Yeah, it looks like Cope is dwindling quickly for Fnatic in this best of 3. And you just have to be in awe of G2's skill and just the hard work that it necessitates to get where they are in terms of how well developed they are. Because you can see a lot of comfort and with the amount of diversity and variability to their play, that just shows an immense amount of chemistry and hard work. Everyone looks at the game in the same way from a theory standpoint, which is not always the case on a team and can cause problems. And then on top of that, we have clearly good protocols for a lot of the different rounds that they're playing in terms of how do we set up for our post-plant situation, what are we prioritizing in certain scenarios, you know, what do we need to think about the most, what spots need to be protected or worried about, what's the one way we can kind of lose from this position. Just all of these like questions have clearly been answered for G2, and their gameplay flows just so, it's just, there's so much fluidity to it as a result, and it's great to watch.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it. It feels like G2, when they were developing this team, have been asking all of the right questions and finding answers to those questions. It's sometimes you see new rosters come together and they look to run before they can really even crawl, and G2 have just they get everything down, or they have gotten everything down at this point. That's well, as I say that, they might lose an anti-eco here. So Hunter tries to bring it back, but just a flurry of kills towards that outer yard, and Fnatic are able to come out on top. That's what we needed from Fnatic if they wanted to extend this game. That was a full investment from them in the previous round, and they're able to take an op away from it and an AK. And in the hands of JW and Brolin, I mean, those are the exact kind of players you want to see try to make some kind of hero plays to stop G2, maybe stem the just slow them down at least.
Yeah, and those are the rounds where sometimes that's going to happen. It is, again, they've been making it look easy to take this site, even against pistols, but it is difficult. Lots of angles to worry about. Things can snowball out of hand quickly, and that's a great opening defensive kill from Brolan. Nexa, though, finds the trade and the plant in the smoke. Pretty classic stuff, and they fall back towards E-Box. So it started off pretty well for Fnatic, but G2 were not looking to take full control of the A site. They only wanted the front of the bomb site, and they've fallen back now. So in that sense, you're mitigating some of your risk. And they got the kills that they needed to along the way to make things extremely difficult here for the remainder of Fnatic. Flusher, in particular, only on an MP9, is creeping forwards. His teammate, his support, is dead. And he's dead as well. That's 15 rounds now for G2. Map and match point in their hands. And the ball has never left their court in this series.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, G2's punishing Fnatic for every little mistake that they are doing. You saw right there, Brolin tried to cancel off the planter, but Nexa had good cover on the bomb. So like small things like that, where maybe Fnatic had a pop flash for him to peek the bomb, could have been a little more successful. And at this high level, you need like these little things, like what can we adjust to make it better.
Oh,
whoa!
What a punish. Oh my god.
They're on something today.
That's great to see from...
Oh,
okay, Crims he's got a nice little headshot there to show for himself. And with the flank from JW, this timing, it could actually be good for what... Okay. Oh, all right. Well, Kenny was looking for it, but he doesn't hit the shot this time. JW collects the AWP, and he's looking to do some damage, covering for the camera cross off the bomb plant. We'll get flashed though. So he's got all the attention in his hands. He does have a teammate to work with. The timing could not have been more brutal. Really, I think, shows how rough this game has been for Fnatic. Flush is just running right now, making all of the sound cues in the world, and there's nothing he can do. Next, it takes him down, and that's a 16-7 scoreline on map 2 from G2. And on map 1, I think it was 16-8. So a pretty crushing display from G2.
yeah. Excellent stuff from them. They just look so well polished, and we'll be headed to a quick break before getting to a bit more of the post game here.